Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and this is just currently now my preview for the Manchester United versus Burton Albion game, which is currently Wednesday. I think it's either 8:15 or an 8 o'clock kickoff, and so far we know Manchester United are really playing well at the moment. Burton are not very consistent in their league. They are currently sitting 19th. Burton Albion, and this is my preview. With I think he's going to be rotating the squad differently as Jose Mourinho for this game on Wednesday. I think he's going to put quite a few of the youngsters out. If I'm going to be quite honest with you, he's been playing Bailey and Jones, who have complemented each other fantastically well this season mostly. He only put Smaller and Lindelof on in the Stoke game and in the Super Cup game against Real Madrid. But I think it's guaranteed that I think Bailey and Jones may be dismissed for this game on Wednesday. And I think he's going to put Smalling and Lindelof as the centre-back. There are also talks that Luke Shaw could be returning. After he's just recovered from injury. He's been out for quite a long time. He's been playing for the under-23s as Luke Shaw. We know he's been injured for quite a while, never had these problems at Southampton, but he's risen up the ranks at Southampton, and when he gets in run of games, he is good at that left-back position, and he did get a lot of criticism off Jose Mourinho last season as well. But overall for Manchester United, 19 goals in all competitions and only 2 goals conceded, which is very good. We've got Martial continues the trend with Rashford coming on as a sub and scoring the goal like Martial has done with Swansea, West Ham. Did it yesterday. Rashford, I think, has already scored 3 goals this season as well. So it's good that you've got young age talent in our squad and experienced players. And as I did say, what would I say? Apparently Scott McTominay could feature in this game because he's been playing well for the reserves. So too could Scott McTominay and Andrea Gomez as well could feature in this game as well. It's going to be very interesting. The League Cup, Manchester United had won it. We'd won the competition last season, the EFL Cup. Can't remember the name what it is now, but we won the EFL Cup last season against Southampton. It was 3-2. Ibrahimovic popping up as he did in the Community Shield, as he did in the League Cup last season to get us that trophy. I think we've won the current competition 5 times, but last season the final presumably ultimately didn't deserve to win. Southampton deserved to win because I thought they initially were the better side for the majority of the game. But and they had a disallowed goal in the game as well. But Ibrahimovic popped up late on to score and make it 3-2. But so far, we've had 4-0 West Ham, 4-0 Swansea, 2-0 Leicester, 2-all Stoke. That was just due to defensive errors, and 3-0 Basel and 4-0 against Everton. So we are doing very well at the moment. Matic is looking very comfortable in the midfield. I think Fellaini, Man United are in talks of getting him a new deal, as it did confirm. Jose Mourinho is a big admirer of the player. He's been at Old Trafford now for 4 years. We bought him for £27.5 million back in 2013, so even if he was for sale, we wouldn't get that much for Fellaini. But he did class. He blocked the move for Galatasaray. Galatasaray. They initially had agreed personal terms with Galatasaray. Fellaini didn't want to make the move, but Jose Mourinho had blocked the move because Jose Mourinho is a big admirer of the player. He said he's a key member of the squad. He's managing Fellaini. He insists that he does make a big impact. And I've criticised him, before, but I think when he's on his game, he can make a massive impact in that midfield. Can marry and Fellaini, but 28 appearances last season, only scored 1 goal, but he made his first appearance yesterday. From the start did Fellaini, and he played okay. I thought it was phenomenal on Tuesday night when he came on for the Paul, the injured Paul Pogba, our most creative and essential midfielder. Thought it made a big impact. He got his name on the score sheet as well, as he did come off the bench against Leicester and scored, come off the bench against Basel and scored. He made a massive impact, and he could have got more. His crossing was fantastic. Every time he had the ball, it looked as though he could do something with it. He was combining, linking up the play fantastically well. I thought he was controlling the midfield well, managing Fellaini, and he was just very sublime. I think you got the goal from a lovely assist from Ashley Young, who I thought also played well on last Tuesday against Basel. I thought he was absolutely fantastic. Was Ashley Young? I thought his crossing was fantastic. I thought he was providing very well, Ashley Young, and that was his first start since May. Was Ashley Young's, and he did feature in the game I think he featured in the game. Yes, he featured in the game yesterday. He played a right back against Basel, but he rotated to the left back yesterday in the current Everton game. And Ashley Young didn't have much of a bad game either. And I think they're prepared to have a discussion with Ashley Young because he's coming to an end of his deal. I think Man United are going to be signing him another 1-year extension. But it did set in reality was going to be used there as a squad player, but Ashley Young has been starting the last couple of games in the process. And we know majority of the time Bling's been playing at the left back this season, but we've seen a little change. We've seen Damien play there. We saw Ashley Young play there yesterday against Everton. So it's going to be interesting to see how Jose Mourinho rotates the squad for this Burton Albion game. But we've got Lukaku now, 6 goals this season, all competitions. Rashford 3, Martial 2 or 3, I think it is. Pogba, shame to lose him. He's got a couple of goals this season and a few assists. Mkhitaryan, I thought he had another good game. I don't think it was his best game. I thought he played very, very well against Basel on Tuesday. I thought he was creating. I thought his crossing was absolutely spot on. I thought he was teasing the defenders with Mkhitaryan. I think he performs better in the middle than he does on the right-hand side. But yeah, it's been absolutely fantastic so far from Manchester United. But this should be a stroll in the park, really, for Manchester United, should this game against Burton Albion. So we'll go through, obviously we know with the League Cup, as I did say, Liverpool are the current holders. They've won it 8 times. We've won it 5. Villa 5. Chelsea 5. Tottenham 4. Forest 4. City 4. Leicester 3. I think City won it the season before us. Arsenal 2. Norwich 2. Birmingham 2. Wolves 2. West Brom 1. Middlesbrough 1. QPR 1. Leeds 1. Stoke 1. Luton 1. Sheffield Wednesday 1. Swindon Town 1. Oxford 1. Blackburn 1. Sheffield Wednesday. Swansea, should I say, 1. West Ham 0. Yeah, and the rest of them 0. So, yeah. That's the current. Liverpool are the current holders of the League Cup. So we have took it 5 times. Man United had we took it in 1992. Did Manchester United? I think we took it in 2006 against Wigan as well. We took it in 2009 against Tottenham on a penalty shootout. I think we took it against Aston Villa once in the final, and took it also against Southampton last season. So we have won the competition 5 times, but it's a very, very interesting competition, just like the FA Cup. Very, very exciting competition, as I said. But I don't know the full team news, so we get more updates, so we'll be doing that on a separate video. I'm just going to go into a bit of the match details now. I'm going to look at all the League Cup fixtures, to be quite honest with you, because I've really forgot about it. But I still said Man United still need a winner in that team. We still need a winger. Obviously, we know, as I said, Rojo's still out for Manchester United. We're expected to see Ibrahimovic by December. But it's good that Luke Shaw's coming back, and I think he could feature on the game Wednesday. At right back, he may put Valencia there, who scored a wonderful goal against Everton. He may even put Ashley Young there, because Ashley Young, I think, has had 2 good games since he's come back as Ashley Young. But I'm going to just go into a bit of the details right now of this game. He's not going to play a full-strength squad, so he will be rotating the squad differently, because we know Jose Mourinho's been going with the 4-2-3-1 most this season. He's only played the 4-3-3 once in the league this season, really, hasn't it? And that was at the Stoke game, but Stoke's not always as easy ground to go to. Here you've got Man United, Burton, yes. Yeah, I think the last meetings actually was nil. Man United we'd been held to a draw under Fergie against Burton once 0-0. I think it was back. Was it 2000? I can't remember what year this was. I think it was was it 2006, 2007, something like that, under the Fergie days. And then I think we beat them in the replay 5-0. So that is a previous meeting between Man United and Burton. We'll just go on a bit of information about Burton. Burton are sitting 19th in their championship, as I said. Let's look at the results. So it looks like they're not really on good form at the moment. Yes, but they did beat Fulham 2-1. They drew with Norwich 0-0. They did lose to Leeds 5-0. Drew with Sheffield Wednesday. Beat Cardiff in the EFL Cup. Beat Birmingham 2-1. lost to Middlesbrough 2-0. So yeah, they are sitting 19th, I better now. So this should be a real stroll in the park for Manchester United, if I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. But I'm just really concerned about the Pogba injury, guys, as I do keep updating you on the Pogba injury. I'm really disappointed because Pogba, 7 goals last season. He come good towards the end of last season because we knew we were injured last season. He recovered from injury just after 3 games. But this time, he was captain on he come off in the 90th minute against Basel as he was captain, but it had to get switched to Ashley Young after Pogba had come off. It is a disappointment because Pogba, he's got a good pedigree. He did well at Juventus, winning a few honours. He's winning honours now at Manchester United. He's Paul Pogba paid £89 million for the Paul. Pogba, but he did ignore the club advice. He did ignore the medical staff, and Mourinho and his staff weren't clearly satisfied about this. He confirmed he'd been training privately with a personal trainer, and he did initially say that Paul Pogba could be out for the 12. Well, he did say initially after the injury had cured, it was going to be out 4 to 6 weeks, and then one press reported it could be up to 12 weeks that Pogba's out, so he could miss at least 5 league games, 5 Champions League games. But I don't think the club have yet announced how long he presumably could be out. They haven't estimated it. According to Mourinho, Mourinho said he's currently dispelled the myth that Pogba could be unavailable for 12 weeks. So Mourinho says it's unknown yet. He doesn't know how long it will take for him to cover it for injury. But I think it's more severe than we originally thought when Pogba had been taken off. And this season he scored a couple of goals, provided a few assists as well. And there's a big difference when you haven't got your most creative midfielder in the team. Your midfield looks a bit slow, it looks a bit static, and that's the main thing about it. He knows how much of an important player Pogba is. And he said there's other players that can take that opportunity for Pogba whilst he's out. There's Patrick still there who can go forward, he can break up the play. There's still Fellaini there, and there's still Herrera there as well. And I do think also Michael Carrick will retire at the end of this season. Jose Mourinho will still look for a replacement for him next summer, maybe when Carrick makes his retirement. Mike Carrick's been fantastic over the years. We bought him. Well, I think he started his career with West Ham, did he, or something like that? We'd actually bought him from West Ham. Have we had Carrick about 13 years now at the club? I think, yeah, it's definitely a decade, might be 11, 12 years. We bought him from Tottenham, and, he performed well there. And he's currently United, he's done absolutely fantastically well. It used to be a fantastic partnership with Scholes, won every single domestic cup with the club. I think he's made over 3 century appearances now for Manchester United as Michael Carrick, and I do really, really still like him, even though he's aging up. But he's won every single domestic cup, and he's a player that doesn't rely on much pace, but he has been the flourish of Manchester United, and he's a player that he's good at. He can score from long range, Michael Carrick, but he doesn't rely much on pace. But he's got fantastic passing ability as well. He's been at club now for over a decade, and I thought he did well in his testimonial as well, getting his name on score sheet. So what a finale that was for Michael Carrick then. But I think he will make his retirement at the end of the season. But what a legend he's been. And he was fantastic with Scholes back in the day. Them two were a fantastic partnership in the midfield, as I do thought. But I think Mourinho may go for a place for him. Carrick's just basically used there at the moment for the backup option. He's used there for the backup option. He's obviously not going to be first choice, as I mentioned, but he's there for a backup option in case, we've got Pogba injured, in case any of us other midfielders get injured. He could be used there as a backup option, which I doubt will happen. Anyway, so he could retire at the end of the season, could Michael Carrick. But I think, going forward this season, we're doing fantastically well. We didn't leak many goals last season, let's be honest, but we didn't score enough goals. We wasn't clinical enough. But this season, we're looking like we're clinical enough. We're still aware that there is still problems in the team. But Mourinho, is a well-experienced manager. Did well with Chelsea, and he will address it in January, I do hope. Let's just have a look. If I can get into the League Cup games, we'll have a look. Where is this? I'll try to get into all the games here. can't believe I didn't find him. We'll go on to get all the League Cup games up. We'll be doing some predictions on this as well. Just have to look at the League Cup fixtures here. You got them all. You've got Brentford, Norwich. You've got Leicester, Liverpool. You've got Wolves, Bristol Rovers, Bournemouth, Brighton, Bristol City, Stoke, Reading, Swansea, West Ham, Bolton, Burnley, Leeds, Aston Villa, Middlesbrough, Palace, Huddersfield, Tottenham, Barnsley. Then on Wednesday you've got Everton, Sunderland. You've got Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. You've got Man United, Burn, Arsenal, Doncaster, and West Brom and Manchester City in the third round of the EFL Cup. For me, we'll start getting on to predictions in a minute. For me, Man United Burn is going to be I think, a 4-0 victory for Manchester United. You got Chelsea, Nottingham Forest. I think, Chelsea have done very, very well this season. Since, the Burnley defeat, Chelsea have really, really upped it. They had a disappointing result against Arsenal. I didn't really watch the game, but I think they had Hazard out. I think Hazard is expected to return against their game against Forest on Wednesday. But, they've got Morata there that's been on a form as well for Chelsea. They've still got a lot of good players. Conte is a good manager. Invested a lot of money in the August window. Won the league with Chelsea as well last season. So it's going to be a Chelsea win either way, in my opinion. So that's going to be that's going to be 3-0 Chelsea. You've got Arsenal, Doncaster. As I said, Arsenal are going to win that game, obviously. Arsenal haven't been in the best of forms, but I think in the last couple of games, Arsenal have stepped it up. They've performed fantastically well. The Bournemouth game, they performed well. Cologne, they performed okay. And in the Chelsea game, they presumably played well as well. But obviously, Arsenal invested a lot of money in the transfer window. But Arsene Wenger must have plans for January to reinvest in their situation. As I said, Sanchez, as I do keep updating you on that. Sanchez has made 2 appearances this season. He's scored 1 goal so far. He scored 24 goals last season. But Arsenal lost Chamberlain in August, lost Kieran Gibbs, lost Gabriel, and they could still lose Ozil, and they could lose Sanchez as well. So they'll raise even more money. Then they'll have plans to try and get replacements in mind for them players. But Sanchez, apparently, as I said, Florentino Perez he's confirmed he's been in discussions with the representatives of Alexis Sanchez trying to get a deal over the line. Sanchez will become cheap in January. He will become a free transfer next summer because he has refused to sign a new deal. As Alexis Sanchez turned down £300,000 a week, he was demanding £400,000 a week. Just like Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil was demanding a higher wage in his packager as well. Ozil as well. Fuck off. He was keen on reuniting with Jose Mourinho as well. Oh, my bad connection's going dinging again. It's doing me head in. But Sanchez, City were keen. Pep Guardiola was keen on reuniting with Sanchez. Sanchez was keen on reuniting with Pep Guardiola. They were very, very good at Barcelona together. And Sanchez just said he wanted Champions League football throughout the window. Munich had been interested. He'd been spotted in Paris quite a few times with Alexis Sanchez. So you could consider he's basically wanted to make the move as Alexis Sanchez, but then he's being ruthless. And with the resistance and Arsenal being reluctant to offload the play, it looked so they were going to soften the stance regarding Sanchez as long as they could have got that replacement. Initially, City had agreed a £6 million bid with Arsenal for Sanchez, but it come to a conclusion as Arsenal couldn't find that replacement. But Arsenal will have to have plans in January to get the players that they want in their team. And Mesut Ozil, as he did say Jose Mourinho prepared to have talks with Mesut Ozil. He's been at Arsenal 4 years. He was dismissed for their game against Chelsea. He's won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons with Arsenal, just like basically Sanchez has won 3 FA Cups in 4 seasons, reason up the ranks with underneath. But Ozil, good, creative, good in the air, very competitive, technically a very, very good, hard-working playmaker. He's Mesut Ozil. He's a player that hasn't got a good record against the big teams, as I mentioned, but he's good at providing assists, he's good at creating, he's good at linking up the play, he can score goals. but he's good. Since he's come to Premier League, he's provided more assists. Ozil has created more opportunities, so that is a very, very good start from his perspective. I think he's made 2 appearances this season, I think, so far for Arsenal. Arsene Wenger knows how much of an important essential player he is for the team. But apparently there's been no talks since February about extending Ozil presumably signing a new deal with Arsenal. He's coming to an end of his deal and he would become a 3-year transfer next summer. Barcelona had been interested in him. Borussia Dortmund had a slight interested in Mesut Ozil from Arsenal as well. But he did say he was keen on reuniting with Jose Mourinho. Won La Liga, Copa del Rey with Real Madrid. During his 3-year period he worked with Mourinho, did Mesut Ozil, and we know he'd been in Bundesliga 5 years with Schalke, with Werder Bremen, and look what he's got. He's provided more assists in Premier League. He did it in Bundesliga, did it in the Champions League. Just looks a very, very good player, does Mesut Ozil. So Arsenal could still lose Ozil and Sanchez, but Arsenal obviously are going to be too strong for Doncaster. So I'm going to go for I don't know. I'm going 4-1 Arsenal. 4-1 Arsenal. You got West Brom at Manchester City here as well. Again, Manchester City comfortably 15 goals now for Manchester City in their last 3 games. You've got Aguero with 5 goals. I think you've got Gabriel Jesus with 4 goals. And they're just hitting form for Manchester City. And I think them two together are the absolute flourish of Manchester City. Considering the amount of money they invested in the window. City have not won the league, I think, since 2015, so they will want to get the league back. Aguero's banned 30 goals in last season. He's already scored 5 goals this season. Highly experienced, one of the most prolific goal scorers of all time. He's Sergio Aguero. He was very, very good at Atletico Madrid as well, was Sergio Aguero. And you've got Gabriel Jesus, who's hitting fantastic form. City have got Kyle Walker. They strengthened the full-back position. They've got Bernardo Silva in there, Manchester City. But what a squad they've got now. The amount of money they invested. They spent more than us in the August window, but, the scoring goals fun, putting 6 past Watford away, putting 4 away against Feyenoord, beating Liverpool 5-0. You can just City are just on complete form. So this for me, against West Brom as well, this is going to be an easy City win for me. 3-1 Manchester City. And look, you've got Everton and Sunderland here. Everton versus Sunderland. For me, Everton, have struggled. Everton have really, really struggled this season. Their last remaining games, they got battered at Old Trafford 4-0 on Sunday. Yesterday, should I say? Beaten by Chelsea. It was beaten by Chelsea. Got a draw at Manchester City. Did they get a draw at Manchester City? Yes, they did. Who else? They beat Stoke, drew with Manchester City, lost to Chelsea, lost to us 4-0. Did Everton. So you can see, and lost to Tottenham 3-0 as well. So what you could just the consideration is basically, I don't really know, because Sunderland are pretty much of a poor side as well. They got relegated last season from the Premier League. With Everton, I think it's going to be an Everton win, even though they have had a tough start to the season, let's be honest. Koeman invested a lot of money in the August window, but they have had a tough start. The good positive for them is Rooney got his 200th goal against Manchester City. I thought Rooney performed fantastically well against us on Sunday, if I'm going to quite honest. I thought he got a fantastic reception. Everton don't really have a good record against us anywhere. At Old Trafford, they don't have a good record against us. I expected Everton to do better, the amount of money they spent on players, but they have had tough games of Everton. They've got Sigurdsson in there, who also has got a good record against Manchester United during his time with Swansea. He was £45 million of record fee. They've got Michael Keane there. They've got young Tom Davies there, who's performing well for them by the looks of things of what I watched of him yesterday. They've still got Ross Barkley injured as well. I presume he's going to go in January. But for me, Everton are going to win this game comfortably. I think Everton 2-0. That's my prediction on that game as well. 2-0 Everton. I can't remember every prediction I'm going to say. West Brom Man City, 3-1 Manchester City, Man United Burton, 4-0 United, Chelsea Forest. This is going to be, I think, 3-0 to Chelsea, Arsenal Doncaster, 4-1 Arsenal, Everton Sunderland, 2-0 to Everton. And here, Tuesdays, you've got Tottenham versus Barnsley. Obviously going to be a Tottenham win. Tottenham are doing really, really well, but to be quite fair, at Wembley, they have yet to win at Wembley in the Premier League this season. They've been very consistent for the last couple of years of Tottenham Hotspur. They have been very, very consistent for the last couple of years. You know, they've got likes of Kane, likes of Dele Alli. Is he going to sign a new deal with Tottenham? You know, Danny Rose there, who's been injured, as we know. Tottenham have been very consistent. You know, they've been unlucky not to win the league in the last couple of years. They've just fell at the final order, but they are still waiting for their new stadium, Tottenham. But we know Tottenham are waiting for the new stadium, but we know they're probably not used to playing on a Wembley turf, as we all know. But Tottenham away from home hasn't been a problem for them. You know, they've got the class of Kane, they've got the class of Dele Alli, they've got the class of Son. A flourish of Tottenham's attack, I think, in my opinion. Son, a very good player. Kane scoring his 100th goal against Everton as well. Scoring 2 against Borussia Dortmund. So, for me, easy Tottenham win. Don't even need to go into the details about that, so I'm going to go for a 3-0 to Tottenham in the game. And then you've got Burnley Leeds. For my opinion, Burnley versus Leeds. It's going to be a tough one to call because we know Leeds are, I think they're still top of the Championship. They have had a pretty decent start to the campaign. They might not be top now, I'm not quite sure. Leeds haven't had a bad start to the campaign. You know, they've had quite a few decent results of Leeds. But for me, Leeds did lose to Millwall by 1-0. But it is going to be a tight game, you know, between Burnley and Leeds. Burnley in the Premier League, obviously we know Chris Wood's hitting form for Burnley, who Burnley bought from Leeds, I think, for about £15 million. So for me, it is going to be a close tight, because Leeds have had a decent start to their season. Burnley have had a decent start to the Premier League campaign, you know, getting a draw at Tottenham, getting a draw at Liverpool, and successfully winning at Stamford Bridge. So Burnley have had a decent start to the season. They have had a really decent start to the season. And then here you've got and Burnley Leeds. I'm going to go for. I think I'm going to go for 2-1 to Burnley. That's my prediction. 2-1 to Burnley. My opinion. And then here you've got Crystal Palace, Huddersfield. In my opinion, this is going to be another tight game. I don't think Huddersfield have had a... No. Alright. Alright. You got here, you know, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Huddersfield again. Going to be another tight game. Palace have had an appalling start to the season. Huddersfield haven't done a really too... What? So am I. So for me, Palace, Huddersfield, this is going to be another tight affair. Huddersfield have had a good start to the season. Palace have had an appalling start to the season. You know, they've just appointed Roy Hodgson, the new manager, signed a 2-year deal. Could be a bonus involved as well, but currently losing his first game, Roy Hodgson, to Southampton. And then previously, when they had Frank de Boer in charge, 77 days. He'd been in charge 77 days. Palace had lost their remaining first 4 games without scoring a goal. Now they're in 5 games into the Premier League season in the league, and they officially not scored 1 goal. So that's 9 games out of 10 Premier League games. 9 out of 10 Premier League games that Palace have lost under 3 different managers, you know, without scoring a goal. And this is basically made history. I could not remember a team ever losing 5 on the trot and not scoring a competitive goal. So Roy Hodgson, you know, he's been at Fulham, he's been at Liverpool, he's been at Grasshoppers, he's been at Inter Milan, he's been at Underneath, he's been at Inter Milan, yes, he has said, he's been at Blackburn, managed England, Finland, Netherlands, as I do keep saying in the situation, but there were talks Samuel Allardyce could have got the job back, didn't occur as he ruled himself out of taking the job back. They've had Pardew before, but what a lacklustre start to the campaign for the Crystal Palace. And you know, they've got tough games coming up. You've got the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, Manchester City, so Palace are going to lose them games as well. You could say, even though it's early on, they're the favoured team to get relegated. They are the favourite team. Huddersfield haven't done too bad this season, you know. I think they've got quite a few players in the spent a bit of money, did Huddersfield. They did lose to West Ham, but I think apart from the loss to West Ham, Huddersfield have not had too much of a bad start to the campaign. So I still think it's going to be an even game, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So I am in this game. I think Palace are going to hit the net in this game. I think it's going to be. I think this is going to be a draw. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know. What shall I say? Hmm. I'm actually going to go with a 2-1 Crystal Palace win. Change of mind. 2-1 Crystal Palace win, in my opinion. So we'll just have to see about that. We'll go for 2-1 Crystal. 4 so far. Everton, Sunderland 2-0 Everton. Chelsea, Forest 3-0 Chelsea. Man U, Burton 4-0 Manchester United. Arsenal, Doncaster 4-1, in my opinion. West Brom, Man City 3-1 Manchester City. Burnley, Leeds, I went with 2-1 to Burnley, didn't I? Palace, Huddersfield, I'm going with 2-1 Palace. And Tottenham, Barnsley, I am going to go for 3-0 to Tottenham. And then you've got West Ham, Bolton here as well. West Ham, Bolton. West Ham have had, I ain't going to go into details about Bolton. They haven't been in Premier League for quite a while now. Bolton, West Ham, Bolton. For me, West Ham have had a really, really bad start to the campaign. Obviously, they got the first victory against Huddersfield, was it last Monday night or something like that, I can remember. They did invest quite a bit of money in the window. They got quite a few faces in under, I can't remember the manager's name. They struggled last season. This season they're struggling, they even got Hernandez in, they got Orphanage in from Stoke, they got Joe Hart in on loan, I think they got Zabaleta as well, so, West Ham got quite a few players into their team, so presumably they should be doing better than they are. Obviously they're now at the London Stadium, that's, I think he's hosting about 60,000 capacity, I think we've got one of the biggest Europe screens, the biggest screen in Europe of West Ham, if I am going to be quite honest with you, at their stadium. But yeah, for me, West Ham have not had a good start to the campaign, but I still think they're going to be strong enough to beat Bolton. So for me, this is going to be, I'm going to go with actually 3-2 at West Ham. I think Bolton are going to get a couple. I'm going to go with 3-2 at West Ham. That is my prediction on this game. You've got Leicester, Liverpool here. Leicester, Liverpool, in my opinion. For me, Leicester lost to Arsenal 4-3, didn't they? Leicester still got good players such as Vardy, who's brought goals and records in the past, risen up the ranks from the non-league to the Premier League, and has won, with Leicester, Premier League, Championship, one Players Player of the Season, one Player of the Month for Leicester, and they've still got Mahrez in there, who's very, very good. And Leicester, they drew with Huddersfield last time out, didn't they? Lost to Arsenal 4-3. Who else? I think, yes, they lost at home to Chelsea as well, 2-1. Leicester have had an average start to the season. Liverpool, I thought, as well, had a very, very good start to the season, unlucky not to beat Watford, beat Crystal Palace, got out, they thrashed Arsenal 4-0. And then since the Arsenal game, I think Liverpool have slipped a bit, losing to Manchester City 5-0, drawing with Sevilla in the Cup, and drawing with Burnley over the weekend. So Liverpool have, in the last few games, have struggled a little bit. But I did say Klopp needs to address them problems. It's the back where Liverpool do need to strengthen up. And Coutinho making his first appearance from the start in their game against Burnley. He come off the bench against Sevilla. Did Philippe Coutinho, I think, come off the last 15 minutes. He due to his injury, he'd missed Liverpool's first 5 or 6 games. But he could still go maybe in January, Coutinho, or he could go next summer. He's still one of their most central players, and he's risen up the ranks fantastically well. They bought him from Inter Milan for 8.5 million. He's on a 4 or 5 year deal with the club. Barcelona were heavily linked with the player, but in the process, 3 bids had been rejected by Liverpool from Barcelona, and they're in the procedure of putting a 4th bid in, but never materialised. Coutinho did want to make the move, but Liverpool's resistance and their reluctance to offload the player, it didn't currently materialise, and Klopp didn't want to see the player go as well. And it initially said he'd agreed a £12 million deal had actually been accepted by Southampton, by Inter Milan from Southampton, and he was close to joining Southampton but didn't materialise. Has Coutinho decided to join Liverpool instead, but he's been at Espanyol before. He risen up the ranks of Espanyol, did Philippe Coutinho, and now Inter Milan he was there. But since he's been at Liverpool, he's been very, very creative, good in the air, and he's become one of the world's most creative playmakers. Coutinho, he hasn't won like any silverware with Liverpool, or not much anyway. Has he won any silverware with Liverpool? No, he hasn't won any silverware with Liverpool, I don't think, but Overall, he's nearly made 2 century appearances now as Coutinho. He's scored about 43, 44 goals now as Philip Coutinho. But I think Barcelona may have other targets on mind for January or maybe next summer, so they may drop their interest in Philip Coutinho. And the director had initially announced that Barcelona they were convinced they could get a deal of Coutinho. They did get Dembele, but they had other targets on mind. The director had confirmed regarding Philip Coutinho that Liverpool were demanding 185 million. This is when Barcelona had opted out, but Liverpool had denied these suggestions anyway. But there had been negotiations between Barcelona and Liverpool in the process. But for me, this is a tough one to call because Liverpool are not really hitting form. I think they've had, as Lallana being injured, as Nathaniel Klein being injured for Liverpool as well. But for me, this is going to be a tight game. This is going to be a really, really tight game if I'm going to be quite honest with you. So for me, I'm going to go... I don't know. I'm going to go with a Liverpool win. I'm just going to go with Liverpool. I'm going to go with a 2-0 Liverpool win in this game. I think Liverpool are going to do it in this game with Coutinho on that and, with Emre Can in form early on in the season. Mane's got a 3-match ban. They've got Salah in there. I think Liverpool have just got enough class to overseas Leicester. They still need problems at the back. They've got problems at the back, so they could still leak goals to Leicester. But yeah, there's the other games here. There's Reading Swansea, Bristol City Stoke, Bournemouth Brighton, Wolves and Bristol Rovers, which I'm not really interested in. But I've updated you with most of the third round games. So my predictions: Manchester United Burton 4-0, Chelsea Forest 3-0 Chelsea, Everton Sunderland 2-0. Did I say? Yes, I did. Arsenal Doncaster 4-1, or did I say 3-1? Yes, I said 4-1, didn't I think? City 3-1 against West Brom for me. Tottenham Barnsley 3-0 Tottenham. Crystal Palace Huddersfield. I said I'm going to go with a 2-1 Palace win, I think I said. Burnley Leeds 2-1 Burnley. West Ham Bolton 3-2 West Ham. Leicester Liverpool 2-0 Liverpool. So they are my predictions for the EFL Cup games. So I've been through most of them with you guys, haven't I? I've been through most of them with you. But yes, that's it really. We will be coming up with some of the team news as well when more things update. Tomorrow I presume that some of the Jose Mourinho will give us some team news, and probably just about half an hour or an hour before the Burton game. It will confirm the team news line. So he will play a lot of young ones with Mourinho. And as I did say earlier on, I did update you with some more transfer rumours, guys, didn't I? I updated you with some more transfer rumours. Robert Lewandowski, the player that I think has been at Bayern Munich 3 years. I think he's now into his 4th season, Robert Lewandowski. Apparently, it's reporting that Manchester City are monitoring the player. They've showed an interest. And I think the player, I think Man United have showed a slight interest. And apparently, I think he does want to make the move to Real Madrid because Robert Lewandowski, has a come out and he's affected by PSG transfers, and I think he's very, very frustrated with the lack of investment from Bayern Munich in the transfer window. And he's thinking to himself, I've been in his club for 3 years. Bayern Munich is a big, massive club who've won so many honours, and he's basically thinking. We've won so many honours and we should be spending and we should be getting players in that we want in the window. So he's just frustrated with the lack of investment, is Robert Lewandowski. And we know Robert Lewandowski, he's good, he's creative, he's an efficient finisher. And, he's made now a century of appearances for Bayern Munich in the Bundesliga. He's bagged 81 goals. I think he's got 12 assists. So he's contributed 93 goals in 100 appearances, which is absolutely sublime. All in all, he's got a contract until 2021 with Munich. Is it a contract to 2021? Yes, it's contract to 2021. Overall, 154 appearances, 119 goals, and 30 assists for Robert Lewandowski. But this is what he's explained. He's clarified he's frustrated with lack of investment from Bayern Munich, and I think he may consider making a move. And it did confirm there'd been talks with Team Munich and Real Madrid back in May. I think there were discussions going on regarding Robert Lewandowski, but he's 29 years of age. He's Robert Lewandowski, And as he did rise up, he risen up the ranks with Pozzon. Pozzoni made 58 appearances, 32 goals. Borussia Dortmund 131 appearances, scored 74 goals in the Bundesliga. And since he's been at Bayern Munich, and he was at Borussia Dortmund 4 years, but since being at Bayern Munich, he has been there 3 years, 100 appearances, 82 goals. Or 81, it's 81 or 82. But just an absolutely sublime player. He's been voted top scorer a lot. He's won honours with Borussia Dortmund. He's won honours with Bayern Munich. And he, with his time at Borussia Dortmund, they only bought him 4.5 million, and look at what he's turned out to be. He won honours with Borussia Dortmund, the top scorer for Borussia Dortmund, second top scorer in the Champions League with Borussia Dortmund as well. And he joined Bayern Munich in, I think, was it 2014 for actually a free transfer, was it? Yes. And he was the leading scorer in 2015-16 with Bayern Munich as well. So, yeah, very, very good player. He's been named Bundesliga's Player of the Year, Champions League Squad of the Season. Just a very, very good all-time player. But he did say Manchester City are interested. He may want to go to Real Madrid with Robert Lewandowski, but we'll see what happens. He's earned 88 caps with Poland. Just a very, very good player. He's a Robert Lewandowski. I think he scored, 5-6 goals this season so far as well. So, but with Bayern Munich, as I do keep saying, obviously they've lost Renato Sanchez. They got Rodriguez, didn't they, on loan? But they could still lose another couple of players. It's unlikely. With the Muller situation, as I do keep updating you on that, we know that it reported the other week that a few teams had been interested in getting Thomas Muller. Thomas Muller, who's won honours with Bayern Munich, he's been there 9 years. He's been at the club nearly a decade now as Thomas Muller. He's been there nearly a decade. And, he won the double in 2010, won the Progressive Champions League final with him in 2010. 2013, he had won a historic treble with Bayern Munich. I think that season he scored 23 goals, did Thomas Muller. But I think since Ancelotti's been taken over, he hasn't become a regular starter. He's a vice-captain. He can play as attacking mid, he can play as a winner, he can play up front. Thomas Muller... He's got a contract as well as Muller until 2021 as Thomas Muller as well. But I think all in all, he's made, I think, over 400 century appearances now. He's bagged about 163, 164 goals all in all as Thomas Muller. And it did consider, Man United went for him in 2014. We put an 85 million bid in. Got turned down by Munich. But he did say the other day that he was getting the support that he wanted at Bayern Munich. I think the player himself is still not keen on the move just as yet. But he did say he was considering it when Man United went for him. But I think he feels as though he's getting he were getting the support that he needs with Bayern Munich. But yeah, this is basically what I've been pointing out. So I think he's still focusing on Bayern Munich as Thomas. So very creative, very good in the air, very good at linking up the play. A very, very good player. I'll be interested to see how it would turn out if he was to come and experience the Premier League, Thomas Muller. So apparently he did say Man United had an interest in Thomas Muller in the process as well. But as I do keep saying with the what did I update you earlier with Timo Werner from RP Leeds, because I do keep saying it did say Liverpool had an interest. I think that's Real Madrid's now main target now. I think for the pledge set is their main target. He scored 21 goals last season. He's provided 4 goals this season so far. He's created 14 opportunities this season as well. He's got a contract with RP Leeds Big 2 2020 as this player. He is a forward. He's only 21 years of age. He's been at Stuttgart before, where he's up the ranks. I think he got relegated with Stuttgart. And I think he's only been, I think this is his second season in the process with RP Leeds Big, but he does look a promising young prospect as this player. But Real Madrid are interested in the player. I think he's open to the move to the Premier League. He's open to the move to other teams as well as this player. But Liverpool have been interested in the player as well, because we know Liverpool have got Naby Keita confirmed from RB Leeds, a big for next summer. Liverpool were rather interested in Van Dijk in January, I should imagine. see if there's any more transfer news updated. We will be updating you as we always do on the channel. As you saw, we got Ander Herrera here again. Ander Herrera, Manchester United. I think it's improved under Jose Mourinho. I think he was a bit lacklustre, under Van Gaal. And we know, I think, this is the press about Ander Herrera. Ander Herrera is he's going to be set to sign a new deal with I think Man United are willing to improve Ander Herrera's contract before the end of the year, because he has impressed Jose Mourinho since he's come. He's been here since 2014, as we said. Mourinho does like the player. He's only featured in 2 games this season as Ander Herrera. We know Barcelona were linked with him early on in the window. He came on as a sub against Everton, as we all know, did Ander Herrera. So yeah, looks like we're going to improve Ander Herrera's contract. This is just in the press, as reported. Yeah, he's going to be offered an improved contract to currently dispel the myth of him joining Barcelona. Herrera's only featured in 2 of the games this season. I think Herrera's now been at the club, is it 2-3 years now, Ander Herrera, and his performances have been very, very good. But he's been here since 2014. He's only started 2 of the games this season. Out of the 7 games this season for Manchester United, but did come on as a sub against Everton, I think. So yeah, still a very, very good player is Ander Herrera, and I do really, really like him. Come on against Everton did Ander Herrera. So we're in the process of signing him a new contract, as well as Marian Fellaini as well. So yeah, guys, that's about it for everything to update you today. I hope you enjoyed my preview, and I hope I get my like on my video. Subscribe to my channel as always. Just going to name the video Man United vs Burton Preview. I'm going to name the predictions I have done on the games on the game as well. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. Subscribe as always. Take it easy. I'll see you later. Bye.